Dr. Eric K. Mutai, Governor Kericho County, has therefore formally appointed a panel of 5 members as underlisted. Now he appoints, then he sends the names. So our work here is very clear. We will be asking you relevant questions here, and we may not allow you, because we'll be locking out the public from monitoring the proceedings, because public participation is one of the pillars of this constitution.
Chairman, maybe
Yes.
to ask the nominee, you know the reason why he's sitting here is because of the delegated authority by the people of Kericho County that delegated to the governor. The governor has appointed him to chair the panel that is going to interview the county secretary. Why we are doing all this, Chairman, is because of the benefit of the people of Kericho who are within and outside our county. They need to see the kind of the persons that are going to take up the function of interviewing the county secretary. Unless, Chairman, the nominee has some information that you do not want such information to go to the public, I think when we reach there, Chairman, that is when he will now tell us, I will answer such a question out of camera, and it is allowed. But for the general introduction, the reason why we are streaming it live is because of the people who gave us the powers to vet the panelists. But if there is a question that you need to answer outside camera, I think we will discuss once we are there. Thank you, Chair.
That's fine.
Thank you very much. I think all sovereign power actually belongs to the people. And the people exercise the same directly or indirectly through the democratically elected leaders. That is why we are here. We are exercising that sovereignty which was donated to us through the ballot, and that is why we are actually here. So if at some stage you think some questions or some answers need a camera, we will consider. So thank you.
All right. My name is Ruben Yagon. A businessman, a farmer in Kericho County.
Secretariat, just bend the microphone well. Thank you. Proceed.
Yeah, I was introducing myself as Ruben Yagon, born in 1951 in Kericho County, and I'm presently a farmer in Kericho County.
You have introduced yourself. Maybe your academic qualification, your experience maybe in your line of specialization.
I have a master's degree in master's in business management. I'm also a certified public accountant, a certified public secretary, a retired executive of Unilever Kenya.
Thank you, Mr. Yegon. So I will now open the floor for the honorable committee members to ask questions. Thank you. We'll start with Honorable Maritim.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Ruben Yegon, please confirm to this committee that you are not a public servant.
I'm not.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yegon, for your nomination for the position of the chairman for this noble task that is ahead, that is vetting or interviewing the county secretary. My question here, Mr. Yegon, is maybe to take a few minutes to tell this committee that with your experience, that you're up to the task to be able to get the right person that this county government is looking for in terms of the county secretary. Can you share a little bit more about how you're going to go about this noble exercise that is ahead of you as the chairman? Thank you.
I'm aware that is a position which is critical for the performance of the county government. And that is a position where leadership competencies are key. So I'll be looking for attributes of the candidates in terms of technical, academic, technical and professional qualifications. In addition, relevant experience and competencies that will enable that person to perform the tasks that are required. So I'll be looking for a person with wide knowledge in management of resources, because this is a job which will involve managing resources of the county and also leading, and the resources are wide: human resources, capital, financial, and even equipment. So I'll be looking for a person who has the competency to manage those resources for proper application to serve or to perform the functions of the county government. I'll also be looking for a person with competence and vision to lead or to lead the county to perform to the expectations of the citizen. So I'll be looking for a visionary person, a person with strategic thinking, a person who can work with others, a person who can lead change, a person who can engage with other stakeholders, local stakeholders, internal stakeholders, even external, like some of the functions may lead relating to other sectors in the government, in the county government, and even at the national government, and even in the county relationships. So that's the sort of person I'll be looking for.
Thank you very much. Mr. Yegon, while recruiting the county secretary, how will you handle the conflict of interest?
Pardon?
How will you handle the conflict of interest?
Conflict of interest in terms of who and who? I mean, where is that conflict you are looking for?
Now, let me give you a scenario that you have candidates that are before you, and you find that maybe coincidentally one of the candidates, maybe he's known to you, coincidentally, not because you choose to be known to him. How will you handle that?
No, I'll be looking for, I've set out the criteria that I'll be looking for. So there'll be a clear template, and we'll be focusing on the performance against the scores on the template. So irrespective of whether the candidate is known to me or not.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa Rogon.
Thank you, Mr. Yegon. Once again, welcome to this committee. Maybe you can briefly tell this committee your past experience in handling matters to do with recruitment, because you are now the person who is going to give us a county secretary who will be the head of public service for this county. You've explained very well that the person that you need is somebody who will handle a number of things. I think you did well. Now, on your part, because you'll be the chair, can you briefly tell this committee your past experience matters recruitment? Thank you.
Yeah, I've been involved in recruitment at very many levels. I've been the HR director of Unilever in East Africa, that is Kenya, Tanzania, and even Unilever Kenya, which is in Nairobi. So I've been involved in recruiting people at various levels, even including recruiting members of the board of directors of Unilever Kenya.
Thank you, Chairman. Maybe as a matter of curiosity, there was a purported board that did a purported interview for a certain county secretary and forwarded the name to His Excellency the Governor for onward submission to this honorable house for vetting. Were you part of that purported board?
I'm not sure I like the word purported. What do you mean purported?
I mean, it is in public domain. It is also within us that there was a board that sat and interviewed the county secretary, which was sent to this county assembly for vetting. Were you part of that team?
I cannot admit that I don't think I would want to say I was part of a purported. I was part of a nominated.
So, Chairman, I think, okay, we will then for the purpose of this question, did you sit in an interview, in a panel that interviewed a secretary who was forwarded to this house? Is that
That is the question.
Okay.
Yeah, but still with the word purported or amended?
No, Chairman. You know why I'm using the word purported? Is because that was null and void, because that is why you are here.
No, I don't think I would.
You participated in an exercise in fertility, and that is why I'm using the word purported. So purported here means that that exercise, Chairman, was an exercise in fertility because you already have the nominee sitting before us to look at his suitability. And you know, Chairman, public funds were used.
Mr. Chairman, with
Yes,
due
please.
respect, I decline to answer that question.
So, Mr. Yegon, just for purposes of the public resources that may have been used, did you sit in a panel that interviewed a county secretary whose name was forwarded to this honorable house?
I still believe I should not answer that question on the basis of the word purported that has been used.
Chairman, so if the word purported is deleted, then answer that question then. If that word is deleted, answer the question.
So, Chair, allow me to request you to withdraw then that term.
No, Chairman, as I said, let's delete it for now, but already the information is at home.
So,
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would request we go ahead and ask another question. I would answer that question, Mr. Chairman.
So, Chairman, you rule the nominee as a rowdy nominee, Chairman, because that is a question. Even in this floor, Chairman, when we are discussing issues at the county assembly, when someone withdraws, you know, he needs to go ahead and answer the question. Of course, for the benefit of the residents of this county.
Mr. Yegon, I think the honorable member has withdrawn purported. I think then let's proceed. Would you please answer then whether you sat in a committee that interviewed a county secretary whose name, a nominee whose name was forwarded to this house?
I sat in a committee and I chaired a panel, not a committee, a panel.
Yes.
Which was appointed by the governor to interview CECs who were nominated, who were shortlisted and presented to us for interviews.
So thank you. I just want to ask whether he also interviewed the county secretary, because you said he interviewed the county executive committee members. Did you also interview the county secretary?
Mr. Egon?
Yeah, there were some candidates for the county secretary position.
I think that is it, Chair.
All right, thank you. The Honorable Anthony Ruta.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Yegon. The position of a county secretary is the highest office in the county. And whoever is given the opportunity to serve in that particular office should be a person of high integrity. Mr. Yagon, because you will be looking at several things when you will be interviewing whoever or the nominees that will appear before your committee. What are some of the key qualifications that you are going to look at, so that at the end of the day you can be able to settle on someone who will be able to steer that particular important office? Thank you, Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I believe I had answered that question earlier on.
Okay. Now, so any other member with a question? The Honorable David Maritim. So you believe that one you had answered in your...
When I talked about academic qualifications, professional qualifications, visionary, strategic thinking, leading others, engaging others, leading change, integrity, performance-driven. Those are the things I talked about earlier on.
Thank you. Mr. David...
Maybe I rejoined the chairman from the first question that I had asked. How many, if you remember, did you interview how many people for the position of the county secretary then?
3.
3.
Honorable David Maritim.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Yegon, do you anticipate any challenge to this task if approved?
Any challenge in terms of?
In terms of?
I don't see any challenge.
Okay. Thank you.
Honorable Finson. Okay. Any other member? Well, Mr. Egon, aware that the County Government Act stipulates that before a selection panel sits to interview county secretary, before county secretary nominees, the selection panel must be approved by the assembly. Did you raise in any of your meetings whether your panel had been approved by the assembly?
Mr. Chairman, with due respect, I think the responsibility for compliance rests with the appointing authority.
Okay.
So I wasn't really, I got a letter saying I'd been nominated to chair the panel, and I would have imagined that the whole compliance issue was the responsibility of the team at the county government.
Thank you. Any other question from the members? So, there being no other question, so Mr. Egon, this appointments committee wishes you the very best. Our work is very well clear as by the standing order and all the county and the County Government Act and any other relevant law. We wish you nothing but the very best. Thank you.
Okay.
So, Secretariat, please organize for a cup of tea for Mr. Yegon, thank you.